Hey guys, welcome back to the Gregorio Girls Makeup channel. If you're new, welcome. My name is Devin and I run this beauty channel with my sister Shauna. And if you're not new, as always, welcome back. We love you. So for today's video, I wanted to do another prom video now that we're getting a little bit closer to prom season. This one is obviously a little bit more dramatic than the last prom look that I did. If you saw that one, if you didn't, I'll link it below so you can go ahead and watch that. But I wanted to do something for my girls that are just a little bit more dramatic, a little bit more bold, a little bit more, you know, they like the full glam. So I created this look with the Morphe 35G Bronze Goals palette, and this was actually my first time using this palette and I really loved it. And the other thing is that pretty much all of these products that I've used in this video are drugstore / affordable. Honestly, mostly truly stuff that you can get at the drugstore. The only thing that really is not drugstore, but you can get it at Ulta, is the Morphe palette that I'm currently holding upside down. So if you guys would like to see how I created this look using all affordable products, then please just keep on watching. Okay, let's get started. So I don't really know if we can consider this a primer per se. So this is the Milani Soft Focus Glow Complexion Enhancer. I think it's just supposed to be a luminizer. It's for light to medium skin tones and it's in the shade 02 Golden Glow. So if you watched my last video, you guys know that I like these just like luminizing under the foundation type of products. So I don't want to layer too much onto my face today. So I made sure that we were exfoliated and moisturized before this video, and then I'm just gonna go ahead and apply this. For foundation today, I'm gonna be using the L'Oreal Infallible Pro Glow Foundation. This is an absolute staple favorite for both Shauna and myself. This is the shade 205 Natural Beige. I did self-tan and I'm actually still letting the tan sit, so if I look a little splotchy, that's why. But I think this is still gonna be a little bit dark, so I'm gonna mix it in with my 202 Creamy Natural, and this is the shade that almost perfectly matches my natural skin tone. So I'm just gonna mix a little bit of that in on the back of my hand with this guy, so we can try to get as close of a match as possible. All right, and I'm not gonna be fancy about it. I'm just gonna go ahead and kind of dot that on with my fingers. So, but one point I do wanna make to you guys, as I was just talking about like that other product not really being a primer, I would say that the most important thing, like yes, it's important to prime and set your makeup, especially for prom, and you wanna use something that's correct for your skin type. I honestly think that if it's not the most important thing, it's just as important to just use a foundation that likes your skin and works well with your skin. Prom, or any like big event for that matter, isn't really the time to experiment with a foundation that you've never tried before, because you want to be sure that the foundation is going to work for you and you just want to be confident that you look good and your makeup looks good. You know what I mean? So I think if you use a foundation that works with your skin, you don't necessarily need to go crazy with your primer because you already know that the foundation is going to stay. Does that make sense? I hope it does. Yeah, I think this is still a little dark, guys. It's okay. We're going to lighten it up. I'll show you. Okay, this definitely looks a little crazy, but we're gonna go ahead and kind of fix it up with concealer. So for concealer today, I'm gonna be taking the Milani Conceal and Perfect. Nothing new here. This is in the shade 120 Light Vanilla. Might be a little bit light, but I think to kind of counterbalance with this foundation, it'll work out pretty well. And just because I feel like the foundation's a little bit dark, I'm just gonna take like what's left on the sponge of like the concealer that I was blending out and just kind of do a light coat over the rest of the face to kind of try and brighten it up as much as I can. To set, I'm gonna use the Milani Translucent Powder in Translucent Light Medium. So I'm gonna go ahead and just press that under my under eyes to set the concealer under there. And we're actually just gonna let that sit all the way through until we're finished with our eyes so that we can catch any fallout that happens. And for the rest of my face, I'm just gonna take my big fat Morphe brush. This is the Morphe E41. And I'm just gonna swirl that around in the cap and I'm gonna use that to just lightly set the rest of my face. So I'm just gonna kind of press that powder in. When you're applying powder, you never wanna wipe it like this because you're gonna wipe off all the foundation that you just did. You want to press it and kind of invite the powder and your foundation and everything to become one with your skin. For bronzer today, I'm gonna be using the Milani Silky Matte, what is this? Silky Matte Bronzing Powder. This is in the shade 03 Sun Tan. And what I love about this bronzer, I actually think it's a really great dupe for the Too Faced Chocolate Soleil because it's cool toned enough to really give you that contour, like bronze contour, but it's still bronzy enough to bronze up the rest of the face as well. So I'm just gonna start back here. You always want the shadow to be the deepest at the point that's like furthest away from someone that would be looking at your face straight on, because it's just gonna give a better illusion of your bone structure being more sculpted. So again, I'm just gonna start back here and kind of work the powder up. And then just because it's prom, I don't usually do this, but because it's prom and I want you to look snatched in your pictures, again, I'm just gonna take a little bit of that translucent powder. I'm just dipping my sponge into the cap and I'm going to run it along the edge here of the place where we just put that bronzer, we'll call it, and that's just gonna kind of cut the edge a little bit if you brought it down a little too low. And then to bronze up the forehead, I'm gonna take the same bronzer. I'm gonna take my Morphe R2 that really needs to be washed, but the only thing that's on it is this bronzer anyway, because I've been using this, so there we go. But I really like the angled piece of this brush to get right up here on my temples and kind of across my forehead. Your girl loves a bronzed forehead. Who doesn't love a bronzed forehead? I'm not really sure, but maybe those people are out there. I don't know. And let's bronze a little bit under the jawbone as well, just to make it look a little bit more sculpted. All right, and then really quick, let's just dust off the translucent powder underneath the bronzer. So before we move on to our eyeshadow, I am going to pop off camera and do my brows off camera, just because honestly, I don't have like an affordable or like drugstore brow product that I really like right now. So I'm gonna do my brows off camera really quick with my Benefit Foolproof Brow Powder, and I will be right back. All right, cool. So our brows are on and we are ready to do our eyes. So I am going to take my Wet n Wild eyeshadow primer. Okay, so the palette that we're gonna be using today is this beautiful palette right here. It is the Morphe 35G Bronze Goals palette. I know you guys have been seeing me holding my Through My Eyes palette. Honestly, I've just been using this for a mirror, so we're not gonna be using this today. Sorry about that. But actually, there's not really a shade, like I guess I could set my primer with this, but it looks a little bit dark. So I'm just gonna take my Wet n Wild pressed powder to set my concealer before we move on. So the vision that I have for this look today is just like really beautiful, bronzed and bold and glam, like glammed out, like bad B status. So that's what we're going for today. So with that in mind, let's see what we want to do. Well, we have to start with a transition. So let's start here. I'm going to take this shade. I think these shades do actually have names, but I'm sure that we definitely just threw out that little sheet that they put in these palettes with the shade names, because it's just, that's just too much. Who keeps those? Nobody keeps those. So I'm just taking that on a blending brush. Any blending brush will do, and we're just gonna work that through the crease. If you're curious, this is my M441. So once you build that color up to the pigmentation that you like, I always like to take the brush, well, maybe I don't always do this, but often I like to just take the same brush with no extra product on it and just smoke the edges up and out so that you look nice and blended without it looking like too dark. Like you don't want to bring that color full pigment up like too high, but you definitely want to make sure that you're blended. All right, now get out your M433. As in every single look that I do. And I am going to jump down to this color right here, just slightly deeper, and we're just gonna keep building up the crease, girls. That's it. Girls and boys. Sorry, girls and boys. Everybody. All of us together. And then again, once you have that color blended to where you want it, just taking the first brush that we were using, and I'm just gonna dab a little bit more of that first color on it, and again, just like soften the edges, blend it out. Next, we're gonna build up the outer corner. So I am going to take this color right here on my Morphe E18, and we're gonna start working that into the outer third. Guys, I'm telling you, once you've watched a few of my videos and you know my makeup style, there's no secrets here. This is how we do it. This is the type of eye look that I like to do. So we're gonna continue. So with these darker colors, I like to start small, see what we're working with, because this is actually my first time using this palette. But just in general, I like to start small and kind of see where we're at, because you can always build, but it's way harder to take away. I mean, you really can't take it away without kind of wiping everything off and starting over once you put too much on. So just focus on packing that into the outer corner of your eye. And then once I've packed that into the outer corner, I always like to just take a little bit of it and just blend it up into the crease. And I always like to drag it over just a little bit into, like, towards the outer corner. I don't know, I think it looks so pretty. I think it really just gives your eyes such beautiful definition. I think it just adds like a little bit of pop. And then I'm taking my M433, which is the second brush that we used for the second color. I'm not putting any more product on it, but again, I'm just gonna blend that together. All right, and now we bronze. So I'm gonna dip into this shade no, not that one, this one. This shade right here. And I'm gonna take just a little bit of setting spray and I'm gonna foil that across the lid. Ooh, that's pretty. Guys, honestly, can I give you my honest opinion? This is really about to be the palette of the summer for me. I know it. Like, these colors are just all so freaking beautiful. Okay, so I think I just want to deepen up that outer corner just a tiny, like a smidge, just a little bit more. A little bit more. So I'm gonna take this color right here. It looks like a matte on camera. It actually has like some tiny little flecks of glitter in it, it looks like, but for all intents and purposes right now, it's going to be a matte shade. And then I'm gonna take a clean blending brush. This one I'm gonna use, if you have one that's more tapered, like a little bit skinnier, use that, just because we're working in a smaller area. And I'm just gonna go ahead and soften that up. For inner corner highlight today, I'm gonna take this shade right up here in the corner. I think I actually wanna wet this before I apply it too. Yeah, there we are. Okay, the time has finally come to dust off this translucent powder underneath the eyes, and I hope that my under eyes are not like literally dry as a desert after this. I'm gonna have to drench my face in setting spray. For the lower lash line, I just kind of want to connect everything together. So I'm gonna take this color right here and I'm gonna use that on a smudger brush. This is stained purple. I promise I'm not about to put purple on my eyes with this look. And I'm gonna smudge that along the lower lash line as close. I just almost want to stamp it as close as possible. All right, you guys, I'm sorry. My camera just died and it's been driving me nuts because that keeps happening to me when I film. But not much happened while I was letting it charge. I just want to let you know really quickly. So after I smudged this color, I think I was doing that's about where the camera cut off. I smudged this color on my lower lash line, and then I went ahead and took this color right here, which is the second crease shade that we used, on a little blending brush. This is the Morphe M506, and I just used that to smoke out my lower lash line. And then I just applied some black eyeliner to my waterline, and I tightlined just a little bit on the top, which I honestly never do that. I think that's the first time that I've done that. So that's all I did. And I applied a little bit of mascara to prep for lashes, and then I realized that we still need to do complexion. So we're back. I'm gonna go ahead and use my Pixie Fixing Makeup Fixing Mist and just give my face a good soak. And then before that setting spray dries completely, I wanna go in with highlighter. So this is my very ratchet, very well used Maybelline Master Chrome in the shade Molten Gold. Look at how crazy that looks. But I really, really love this. This is an all-time favorite drugstore highlight for me, and I actually haven't used it in a while. So I'm gonna go ahead and use that to highlight today. For blush, I'm going to be using another favorite and another product that honestly looks really ratchet, so sorry. But this is the Milani Baked Blush in the shade Luminoso. For lashes today, I'm going to be using these right here. These are the Kiss Look So Natural lashes, and it just says natural effect. Oh, flirty, that's what they're called. So if you watched my last video, these are just the exact same lashes that I used in that. I really loved them, and so we're gonna use them again today. And if you didn't watch my last video, I'll link it up here. Make sure you go watch it after you watch this one. Okay, so here we are with lashes. I did them off camera because honestly, I feel like I just need to address how freaking awful I am at applying lashes. That's honestly why I never put them on camera, because it takes me so long. So definitely not my strongest suit. We are gonna move on to lips, and then we're gonna be done with this look. So I have kind of an idea in my mind of what I want for this lip, and I don't know if it's gonna work the way that I want it to. So I was thinking I wanted to do like a darker lip liner and then like a nude lip in the center. But yeah, see, this is way too freaking cool toned. So I'm going to take my ColourPop Lippy Pencil. This is in the shade Grunge. And I'm just going to go ahead and line my lips with that as usual. And then, because I originally brought this color down for this video, but I just don't think that this color is going to work with this look, I'm going to use the same lipstick that I used in my last video. I'm sorry, it's not affordable, but this is the only other lipstick that I brought down. This is the Too Faced lipstick in Pout About It. I will try to see if Shauna and I have like a an affordable dupe. I think we have like a ColourPop one or something that might be a similar color to this, and I'll link it down below for an affordable option. I'm so sorry. But I'm just gonna go ahead and apply this in the center of the lips. And then once you've applied that, just go ahead and kind of like, you know, like zhuzh it together to kind of blend the dark and the light in between. I honestly think that this lip is a little bit too cool tone for this look still, but you get the idea. It gives me that like 90s dark lip, lighter center, like Spice Girl vibes. You know what I mean? That was kind of what I was going for here. All right, you guys, that is going to be it for this super glam bronzy prom tutorial. As always, I hope you liked it. If you did, please go ahead and give this video a like button down below. Subscribe to the Gregorio Girls channel if you haven't already, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Mwah. Love you. Bye.